They had a lot to say. It wasn't just a picture, they said things on there. They wanted their work to be seen and they wanted to share it. Although I think they always knew that it was a temporary thing. I used to drive down 34th Street pretty much on a regular basis, and I noticed that there were paintings on this wall on the side of the road. The wall was done by the Department of Transportation to put up a barrier on 34th Street to keep the golf course from the street. But they had this strip there, and I don't know how it started, but maybe the first thing was some high school guy and some woman that he was fascinated by, and he probably wrote her name on there. Having a long interest in art, I really liked Salvador Dali. He had an insanity that he could put out there and share with the rest of us. Unfortunately, many brilliant people can't really share it, but Dali had a talent, and all of us had access to it. There was a local muralist, Jim Evangelista, that had painted a mural of Salvador Dali to commemorate his death. When I saw that, I figured I better get a picture of it, because I had noticed that sometimes the things that went up on the wall didn't last very long. So I grabbed a camera. Probably the next day I went over and photographed his mural of Dali, and that's how it all started. After I photographed a Dali mural, I don't think I went back every day at that point, but I would look for new things, and if I saw something new, then I'd go back and photograph it. I don't really know how many I took. What do you think, 500 maybe? It was so eclectic. There was such variety. You never really knew what you were going to see, and it was always it was entertaining. Something kept me going back there day after day after day. Some of the earliest examples of art, I guess, are in, the Lascaux caves in France, where they found, prehistoric man did drawings on the walls of these caves. Why? These guys obviously did not have easy lives, and yet they took the time to do this. So it's probably, just part of what is within that desire to make that mark, that maybe that'll last. There'd been a lot of discussion, you'd read about it in the paper, maybe people would talk about it, whether they really wanted to allow people to do graffiti, because it's against the law to do that. But what it'll do for you, just as an artist, it's a beautiful thing. There was always memorials to people dying. Graduations, sporting events, world events. There'd be wedding proposals. They had births up there. They represented war. They represented joy up there, and sadness, and very poignant things. It wasn't all happiness and light by any means. But that's what life is. The student murders in '90. It was really a serious community event. It was a very difficult place to be in this town when that happened. After that, they did a memorial on the wall, and everybody was touched by it. And once that was on the wall, it kind of changed the community's view about the wall enough to where they wanted to preserve that memorial and thereby preserve that wall and not make it illegal to put graffiti on there. I stopped documenting the wall because I found it was getting repetitive. It was more interesting to me if just the total aspect of student life and maybe Gainesville life was represented. And the other thing was, as much as I liked graffiti, you just kept seeing the same styles over and over again. There was nothing new there for me. Not that it's a bad thing, because I'm sure whoever was doing it was getting some kind of relief, but it wasn't doing anything for me. What is the purpose of the wall anyway? Some people will do sand sculptures, ice sculptures, monks do mandalas, people do sidewalk art. They always know that it was a temporary thing, but really it's a nice kind of image when you think of it. They had their feelings, and their feelings were going to be different the next week, and probably the next week the wall was different.